Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss another LeetCode problem statement, that is longest consecutive sequence. It's a LeetCode 128 problem statement of medium category. So here we have given unsorted array of integer, and what we have to return, we just have to return the longest consecutive element sequence. So one thing which we have to make sure, like the algorithm should run in O of n time complexity. So here is an example. So if we will see, right, this is an array and what we have output as 4. Why? Because there is a sequence from 1 to 4. 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. So we just have to return maximum, longest consecutive sequence. So in this case, it will be 4. In another example, the output which we are getting is 9. Why? Because if we will see from 0 to 8, we have all the elements 0, 1, then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So 0 to 8, so the length will be 9. So we just have to return longest consecutive sequence. Let me quickly jump to the board and we'll discuss what approach we have to follow in order to solve this problem statement. So as we are aware of, like, we have to find the longest consecutive sequence in O of n time complexity. So for that, we are going to use a concept of hash map where we will be storing, key and value. Based on that, we'll figure it out. So initially, let's say this is your hash map, and initially what we will assume, the first step is we have to make an assumption. So what will be the assumption? Like each and every element is the starting point. So for an example, 100 is also a starting point, 4 is also a starting point, 200 is also a starting point, and respective 1, 3 and 2, all these are valid starting point. So once we'll have the assumption like all the elements are starting point, in the very next step we just have to figure it out the valid starting point. So how we will find the valid starting point? Whatever number we have, right? If -1 number is exist, for an example, let's say the number is 500, then you have to check in the map whether you have this 499. If you have this 499, it means this 500 is not a valid starting point. Rather, you will start it from 499. Likewise, so initially you have, let's say, 100. So for 100, what you have to check? 100 minus 199. Do we have this 99 in the given map? So in this case it is not there. So what we will do? So this 100 we will consider that it's a valid starting point. Now in the next step we have 4. So 4 minus 1, so that will be 3. So we have to check whether this 3 is present in the map. Yes, it is there. So it means 4 is not a valid starting point. Similarly, for 200, you have to check -1, that will be 199. Do we have this? No, it's not there. So this we will consider as valid starting point. Okay. Now again 1. So 1 minus 1, that will be 0. Do we have 0 in the map? No. So this is also a valid starting point. Okay. Now 3. 3 minus 1, that will be 2. So do we have this 2 in the map? Yes, we do have 2 in the map. So 3 is not a valid starting point. After that, again you have 2. So 2 minus 1, that will be 1. Do we have this 1? Yes, we do have 1 in this map. So in that case, what we'll do? Like this 2 is not a valid starting point, because instead of starting from 2, we will start it from 1. Likewise, right? At the end, you just have 3 valid starting point: 100, and then you have 200, and then you have 1. So now what you have to do? You just have to figure it out like the consecutive. So for 100, 100 will start from 100 itself. So do we have 101? No. So for this, the length will be 1. Now another valid starting point is 200. So for 200, the first word will be, element will be 200. Do we have 201? No, it's not there. So again, in this case also, length will be 1. In the very next, the starting point is 1. So for 1, we'll see like whether we have 1. After that, the next element, 1 plus 1, that will be 2. Do we have? Yes, we do have. 3, 2 plus 1, that will be 3. Yes, it is there. 3 plus 1, 4. Yes. So these are consecutive. 4 plus 1, 5, right? 5 is there in the map? No, it's not there. So that's it. So this will be the 4. And this, from these, we just have to find the longest consecutive element. So in this case, it will be 4. So 4 will be our output. Okay. If the length of the given array, whatever we have nums, if the length is 0, then we just have to simply return 0. Let me quickly jump to the LeetCode compiler and we'll write a code for the same. Okay, so as we have discussed, first we have to check if the nums dot length, if it is equals to 0, then you don't have to do anything, simple return 0. Okay, now we have to create one map, and in map basically we are going to hold key as an integer and value will be of boolean type. I'm giving name and we are going to use hash map. After that you just have to do the first step, assumption. So for assumption, assume like all elements is starting point. Okay, so for that what you have to do, simple, you just have to update the map with true value. Now in the very next step, what you have to do, now you just have to find the valid starting point. So in order to figure it out, right, instead of iterating all the nums array, we are going to iterate the unique element. So for that we will be using map dot key set. Okay, in the very next step, what you have to do, you have to check if whether this map contains the element. For an example, we were checking 100, right? So 100 minus 1, so it means a minus 1. If it is there, right, it means the a should not be the valid starting point, right? So for that what we will do, simply we just have to update the map with key as a and value will be false. It means if we have 100 as a number and minus 1, 99 is not present in the map, it means definitely 100 is the valid starting point. But if it is present, then it means 100 should not be starting point, 99 should start as a starting point. In the very next step, what we have to do, again we have to iterate it, and in this we'll again start with map.keyset. We are not going to use duplicates. Now in the first step here itself, what we will do, if map dot get, if this value is true, then only we will consider. Okay, and for that we need one variable called, let's say I'm just giving the name as max and will initialize with 1. Now here I'm just creating one another variable, for an example current length, and this variable also I'm initializing with 1. Another thing, we need value. What will be the value? For an example, you have 1, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2, whether 2 is present there in the map or not. If it is there, then only you just have to increment the count. So for that we'll just keep a plus 1. Now in the very next step, what we have to do, we just have to check whether this value is present there or not. So it contains key, and what you have to check, this value. If this value is present, then what you have to do, you just have to increment the length as well as you have to increment the value itself. For an example, if 1 is there, then we'll check with for 2. If 2 is there, then 3 is there, 4. Likewise, we will keep on incrementing the value as well as current length. At the end, you just have to figure it out, like this should be under while loop. So let me quickly move this one like this. Okay, now after that what you have to do, you just have to calculate the max length after calculating these things. So what we will do, max length, max will be math dot max. Either we will consider the max will be the maximum longest or current length, whatever we will have, and at the end we just have to simply return this max whatever we have, right? So here we are just simply returning the max. So let me execute this code and we'll see whether it's working properly or not. Okay, so here we have a typo. We have missed one parenthesis. Here also it should be a map. Let me execute it again. Okay, so all the 3 test cases passed successfully. Let me submit this solution. Okay, so all the 83 test cases passed successfully, and this is the approach we have to follow in order to solve this problem statement. If you like the video, do subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.